Dar Communications, the parent company of AIT and Repower FM, has settled its rift with the National Broadcasting Commission. A meeting was called where Dar Communications said it would drop the case it instituted against the NBC, and the regulator also pledged to withdraw its suspension of Dar from breach of the NBC code. But the meeting was called by executives of major media organizations in the country. Public affairs analyst Oyalowo is joining us now on the news to help us make sense of the initial suspension of the media organizations owned by Dar Communications. Thank you for joining us on TVC News at 7. It seems there's a lot of professionalism expected from the Nigerian media, especially with the Nigerian National Constitution, Section 39, guaranteeing freedom of expression and to hold opinion.
Well, good evening. Thank you for bringing me here. Well, it is good that we should talk about freedom of expression, which is normal. But you know, for a media organization, you expect that there are some ethics, there are some codes that you cannot breach. Because I am sure that TVC, as we are sitting here, you have some codes and ethics that was binding on you, that your organization signed that you are going to follow. And if you don't follow, there should be sanctions for it. So I believe that for journalists and for broadcast houses, there should be something you call editorial responsibility. That it's not everything you say you push out. There are things that even when you want to push them out, you have to be intelligent and you have to sieve the wheat from the chaff, especially knowing the danger of information mismanaged. We are all living witnesses to what happened in 1994 in Rwanda because of a radio station that was broadcasting some unnecessary information that were not necessary. 2 million people, or over 2 million people, lost their life in that genocide. So we cannot, in the name of freedom of expression, forget that that freedom must come with a huge form of responsibility. And that is what we need to talk about. Freedom of expression with responsibility.
Indeed, and the Dar Communications has said that it's going to appoint an ombudsman, and of course, like you just said, that put a lot of editorial balance in the forefront at this time. But then many are saying that the media still owes the public generally a lot of responsibility of keeping them educated and informed, regardless of the information.
Well, yeah, the media should keep, naturally you call the media the fourth estate of the realm. So that means they are the fourth arm of government, even though it's unofficial. But you must understand that we are in a delicate period, especially in our democracy. We do not want a situation that would degenerate into war, into killing. We already have enough bloodletting, as it were. Now, when you have a media, a broadcast house that is irresponsible with the way it disseminates information, then it becomes quite dangerous. And you ask yourself, what do Nigerians really want? We are all shouting and clamoring for a sane society. But when government comes and says, okay, let's clean up this, let me give you an example. When you have issues in the judiciary, the government decides to step in, the lawyers will suddenly become a band of, what do you call it now? Schoolboy fighting for rights that you don't know about. When you say, okay, let us deal with food sufficiency, then suddenly people will start smuggling. When you say, okay, let's look at the area of politicians, let's deal with politicians, then you will hear, suddenly now they are fighting, it is now witch hunting. So you ask yourself exactly, why do we keep fighting to hold our turf? Journalists should hold the government responsible, but the journalists themselves should be responsible in their information dissemination. Okay. Because if we burn down this country, you will not have any country to even report about. So that is the danger of irresponsible journalism.
Some are saying that political influence has a lot of role to play in how the Nigerian media is operating this time. Do you believe so too?
Well, I believe so, but I think some are more reckless and irresponsible than the other. And I'll give you an example. The one that was closed down last weekend, there's another one that is owned by just a senator who just passed out, who is now a full-time blogger, who owns also a TV station in Lagos. And nobody has bothered him. Because to a large extent, his media organization has been responsible keeping to their own part of the bargain. Look at a broadcast organization. They don't pay salaries. They don't pay their licensing fee. They don't edit story before they push them out. You go to social media where it's unregulated. You regurgitate those dangerous things from social media, and you think it is right. If we burn down Nigeria, none of us will have a country. So I believe there may be political influences or interferences, but I think some people are more irresponsible than the other.
Oyalowo, Public Affairs Analyst, thank you for your analysis on TVC News at 7.